everybody, welcome to Gnanadiksha 3. I am Lata. I am a teacher of English at TTW URJC Girls, Jecharla. Today I would like to start my session with a story. I know you all like stories. Yes. Let us start with a story. Once upon a time there was a village named Grammar. The village is famous for a special tree called the magical tree. Since it is a special tree, it has some magical powers to shower its blessings on the villagers. Whoever go to the tree and make a wish, the tree grants their wish. But after few days, the villagers observed that only few people's wishes were granted, but not everyone's. Then all the villagers went to the tree and asked, "Oh magical tree, as we all are from the same village, but why are you showing partiality among us?" Then the tree said, "Oh my dear villagers, I am very sorry to say this. Those who make a wish in correct English, then only I can understand. Then only I can grant their wish. If there is any mistake while you are making a wish in the sentence, then I cannot understand and I cannot grant your wish." Then immediately, by knowing the secret of the tree, all the villagers started learning English, and within a few days everyone became perfect in speaking fluent and correct English. Students, to make their wishes true, all the villagers learnt English. In the same way, in our Gurukulam education system also, we have so many competitions in school level, district level and state level. For example, elocutions, essay writings, youth parliaments, MAN programs and many more. So, to be successful and to be in a top position in all the competitions, to know only the subject knowledge is not enough. You have to present it in a correct way. That means you have to know English to present it in a correct way. So, to be a best performer in every competition and to be the best in your education system, you need to learn correct English. So, hope students you understood the importance of English in our lives. So, to speak correct English, we have some rules in English in subject-verb agreement. So, today I am going to explain you few basic rules in subject-verb agreement. This may help you to speak and write correct English. Let us go into the topic. Subject-verb agreement. So, what is meant by a subject-verb agreement? What is a subject and what is a verb? First, before going into the topic, let me explain separately about what is a subject and what is a verb. Subject. A subject is a person or a thing in a sentence being described or doing the action. Being described or doing the action. Then what is a verb? A verb is a word that tells about an action or a state. An action or a state. To make you clear these two terms, let me write some examples. Sheila eats chocolates. Monkeys eat bananas. Ram likes swimming. So, students, observe these sentences. In the first one, Sheila eats chocolates. In this sentence, Sheila is being described. So, who is being described? Sheila. So, Sheila is the subject. Next, monkeys. Monkeys eat bananas. This sentence is speaking about monkeys, so monkeys is the subject. And Ram likes swimming. So this sentence is explaining about Ram. So here Ram is the subject in the sentence. Next, let us see the verbs. Sheila eats chocolates. Here eat is an action word. It is telling about verb. Verbs are action words or state words. So here eats is the verb. Monkeys eat bananas. So in this sentence eat is the verb. In the last one, Ram likes swimming. Here likes is the verb that is telling information about Ram, that Ram likes swimming. Here likes is a state verb. Why we call it state verb? Because likes eat means it is showing a physical action, but likes do not show any physical action. So these types of verbs are called state verbs. And students, observe the first two sentences. I wrote the same verb eat and eat, but if you observe carefully, I added an s in the last in the first sentence. Why did I add s in the last? Because in English we have some rules how a verb agrees to the subject. So to make a sentence correct. So to learn this, we have to look into the rules of subject verb agreement. Now let us see the rules. Look at the slide. The first rule, a singular subject takes a singular verb. Example, that rabbit eats carrots. In the sentence, the example, that rabbit, I am speaking about that rabbit. Rabbit is only one, so singular subject, and eats is the singular form of verb. First, before writing examples for the rule, let me explain singular and plural forms of nouns and singular and plural forms of verbs. First, pen, pens, bird, birds, table, tables. Next, let us see the singular and plurals of verbs. Writes, write, eats, eat, sits, sit. Here, singular and plural forms of nouns means, in singular, pen means only one. When we are talking about only one, it is singular, and pens means more than one, two or many. Here, bird means only one, birds means many, table means one, and tables means many. Clear? Next, verbs. Singular and plural form of verbs do not tell about the number, but they are used according to the subjects. So first one, singular is writes, plural is write, singular is eats, plural is eat, singular is sits, and plural is sit. Students, if you observe here, the singular form of verbs nouns do not have an s in the last, but singular form of verbs have an s in the last, and singular plural form of nouns have an s in the last, but plural form of verbs do not have an s in the last. So both are behaving in an opposite way. Next, let us write some examples for the first rule. A singular subject takes a singular verb. First one, I am talking about this boy. This boy runs fast. This lady drives fast. Next, your toy looks nice. Tom lives in Canada. Students, look at the first sentence. I am talking about this boy, only one boy, so singular. So this boy runs fast, singular subject and singular verb runs. So this boy runs fast. Next, this lady, lady means only one, singular, so I used a singular form of verb, drives. This lady drives fast. Next, your toy, toy means only one thing, so singular. So your toy looks nice, looks is the singular form of verb. And Tom lives in Canada. Tom is the name of only one man, so Tom is a singular subject and lives is the singular form of verb. See, singular subjects do not have an S in the last, but singular verbs have an S in the last. Now let us see the next rule. A plural subject takes a plural verb. Students, look at the picture. There are two rabbits in the picture. I told you two rabbits means more than one, so it becomes plural. So the verb used is eat without an S, plural form of verb. Let us see some examples. Let us change these sentences into plural forms. It will be easy for you. See, two boys, more than one, so plural. We will change it. These boys run fast. These ladies drive fast. Your toys look nice. Tom, here, Tom and Jim live in Canada. So observe these sentences, students. Here, two boys. I am talking about two boys, so plural. These boys run fast. Boys means we have S in the last in the plural form of subject. So we don't have S in the last in the plural form of verb. These boys run fast. These ladies drive fast. Ladies means more than one. Here we have two ladies. So these ladies drive fast. Drive is the plural form of verb. Next, your toys look nice. Look nice. Toys means more than one. So look is the plural form of verb. And Tom and Jim live in Canada. Students, here Tom is one person and Jim is one person, but I am combining these two people using the word and. When two singular subjects are combined using the word and, then these types of nouns are called compound nouns. That means when we use and in between two singular subjects, it becomes plural. That means I am talking about two people, Tom and also Jim. So Tom and Jim becomes plural, so I used a plural form of verb, live. Tom and Jim live in Canada. Now if I use the word or in the place of and, so if I use or in the place of and, I am talking about only one person, whether Tom or Jim, only one. So Tom or Jim lives in Canada. Because I am talking about only one becomes singular, so I have to use a singular form of verb, lives in Canada. Students, hope you understood how to write singular subject and singular verb agreement and plural subject and plural verb agreement. And till now I wrote all the sentences using nouns, but in our speech we also use pronouns to avoid repetition of nouns. So let us write some examples using the pronouns. First, let us change the earlier sentences only into the pronouns. This boy runs fast. Boy means only one. So when we change a boy into pronoun, we use he. He runs fast. And this lady drives fast. Lady, for a girl and for a woman, we use the pronoun she. So I am writing she drives fast. Your toy looks nice. Toy means only one object. So for objects and things we use the pronoun it. It looks nice. This he, she and it are the singular form of pronouns which takes singular form of verbs. Now let us see the plural form of pronouns. Just observe the slide, students. In the first row we have rabbit, boy, toy, lady and Tom. In the pronouns I wrote he, she and it, and in the verbs eats, runs, looks, drives and lives. Verbs with an s in the last. These are the singular nouns, singular pronouns and singular form of verbs. And if you see the plurals, rabbits, boys, toys, ladies, Tom and Jim, these are the plural nouns and with an s in the last. And plural pronouns I wrote we and they, and plural form of verbs eat, run, look, drive and live. So plural verbs do not have an s in the last. So let us write sentences using we and they. When we have to use the pronoun we, I wrote a sentence, Tom and Jim live in Canada. If I am in a conversation with Tom and Jim and if I ask them, where do you live? Then they say that we live in Canada. So we live in Canada. And one more way to use we means if I am also living with Tom and Jim, then I can also say that we live in Canada, means we together, three of us live in Canada. So those are the two ways to use the pronoun we. Next, let us use the pronoun they. In the sentences ladies, boys, toys, all these plural forms can be changed into the pronoun they. They look nice. So plural forms we are using plural verbs. For plural pronouns we are using plural form of verbs without an s in the last. So if you observe the slide, I missed two important pronouns. What are they? I and you. So I want to ask you, I and you, do they take a singular form of verb or a plural form of verb? First let us see about I. I am a teacher. I teach English. If you observe the sentences, I is referring to only me, that means only single person, so I is used for singular person. Then you. If I am teaching to one child, I will ask, did you understand? And through this video, I am teaching all of you, that means more than one, so you can be used both for singular and also plural. But the rule in English is, I and you takes plural form of verbs. Plural form of verbs. We have to remember this rule. Whenever we use I and you, we have to use a plural form of verb. Let us write examples. I read the newspaper every day. You look pretty. Students, this is how pronouns takes verbs. He, she, it takes singular form of verbs with an s in the last, and we, they, I, you takes plural form of verbs without an s in the last. This is about pronoun verb agreement. Now let us see the next slide. Words that end in s but not plural takes a singular form of verb. Words that end in s but not plural takes a singular form of verb. Examples: mathematics, civics, economics, news, etc. So students, if you observe the words in the examples, let us write mathematics. Mathematics and news. See, these two words are ending with the letter S, but they are not plural. Mathematics is only one subject, so singular, so we have to use a singular form of verb. Mathematics is a tricky subject. Here, news. Whenever we want to ask about news, we have to ask what is the news today, not what are the news today. Okay? So, news is always singular and we have to use a singular form of verb with the word news. News is very interesting today. Students, understood? Words that end in S but not plural takes a singular form of verbs. Here is the be form of verb used for singular subjects. Now, look at the slide. Next rule, words that do not end in S but plural takes a plural verb. So, words do not end in S but plural. Examples, men, women, teeth, feet, etc. So, let us write some examples. Men is the plural form of the word man. Man means only one and men means many, and woman is the plural form of woman. Woman is one and woman is many. So, men work very hard, women cook tasty food. See, these two words are plurals. They do not have an S in the last, but we have to use plural form of verbs. You have to remember this in mind whenever you use this kind of words. Now, look at the next slide. When a sentence starts with here or there, singular subject takes a singular verb and plural subject takes a plural verb. For example, look here on the table. Here is a duster on the table. I am talking about the duster here on the table. So, I am talking about only one object. So, here is a duster on the table. So, if you observe here, there are more than one object. So, many things are appearing on the table here. So, here are some objects, two dusters, marker and mouse, keyboard, and some objects are here. So, when I talk about more than one object, we have to use plural form of verb. So, let us write examples. There is a duster on the table. So, a duster means talking about only one object. So, I use singular form of verb is, and there are some objects on the table. So, when I am talking about more than one thing, so I am using a plural form of verb are. There are some objects on the table. The same thing goes with here also. Here is my marker. So, I am talking about only one thing, so I am using is. And if I talk about more than one, here are my markers. See, I have two markers in my hand. So, I use the verb are. Now, let us see the next rule. Quantities of time, distance and money are always singular and takes a singular verb. Now, first let us see examples for time. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. See, I am talking about 1 hour. So, 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Is the singular form of verb. Next, I am talking about 8 hours. 8 hours dash a normal working hour. So, 1 hour I used is, and for 8 hours what should I use? Is or are? we have to use is, because quantities of time is always singular, so we have to use singular form of verb. Next, quantities of distance. 1 kilometer is a walkable distance. 5 kilometers dash not so far. See, for 1 kilometer I use singular form of verb is. 1 kilometer is a walkable distance and 5 kilometers, so more than one, but here also we have to use is. 5 kilometers is not so far. So, quantities of distance is always singular and takes a singular form of verb. Next, quantities of money. 1 rupee is equal to 100 pies, then 10,000 rupees dash a lot of money. So, 1 rupee is equal to 100 pies. Here I use singular form of verb is, and 10,000 rupees means more than 1 rupee, but here also we have to use singular form of verb is. You have to remember this rule: quantities of time, distance and money always takes singular subjects. Look at the slide. Next rule: when two subjects are connected by either or neither nor, the verb agrees to the subject closer to it. Example: neither the students nor the teacher are going to the field trip. Students, observe here, I am talking about two subjects here, neither the students and not the teacher. So, the verb I used here is are, because whenever we get neither, nor or either or in a sentence, the verb should agree with the subject closer to it. So, here teacher is singular, so we have to use a singular form of verb is. Neither the students nor the teacher is going to the field trip. If I change the subjects, neither the teacher nor the students, so here the verb closer, the subject closer to the verb is students here. So, students means more than one, so plural, then we have to use a plural form of verb are. Neither the teacher nor the students are going to the field trip. Hope you understood the rule. The same thing applies whenever we get either or also in a sentence. So, students, these are the basic rules of subject verb agreement. If you follow these rules, you can speak and write correct English. So, before concluding my class, I will give you an assignment. Look at the slide. Write 5 sentences using each rule and use the sentences in your conversation. So, students, take each rule and try to write at least 5 sentences in each rule and use the sentences in your conversation. Then only you can get it perfect. So, practice makes man perfect. So, you have to practice well. Finally, I want to tell you few preventive measures on COVID in the form of a song. Shall I? We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome COVID. We maintain social distance, we maintain social distance, we maintain social distance some days. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome COVID. We'll use mask daily, we'll use mask daily, we'll use mask daily some days. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome COVID. We'll use sanitizers, we'll use sanitizers, we'll use sanitizers regularly. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome COVID. We'll eat healthy diet, we'll eat healthy diet, we'll eat healthy diet always. It improves our immune system, it improves our immune system, it improves our immune system always. If we follow all these rules, if we follow all these rules, if we follow all these rules, some days we definitely overcome, we definitely overcome, we definitely overcome COVID. We'll be back to our schools very soon. Thank you, students. Hope you enjoyed the session. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.